It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. It's Friday, fantastic Friday. I'm here with man as always. Yells, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Ready to
Happy
do
Friday.
this, Johnny. Let's do this,
Ready to
Johnny.
do this. Let's do this, Johnny. Let's get things started right away with a hot topic with two T's. Who's gonna make the bigger impact on their new team this coming season? Renzo Bryant or Benari James?
Ooh, yeah, this is easy money for me, man. It's Benari
Yeah.
James. It's Benari James. I like what you did there. We have one guy he's a locker room leader. We have another one who says that he's a locker room leader, although we've seen some turmoil. We've seen some great turmoil. But yeah, I'm going with Benari James. I'm going with
I'm
Benari James.
Okay, I'm gonna take Renzo because of the fact that we know that he is a locker room leader. Um, I feel like that kind of stuff will do more for a team than someone scoring, leading the team in scoring and that kind of stuff. I'm looking at it from a different perspective, if you will. Having someone you can rally around who's going to be the vocal leader and get you all on the same page, to get you all amped ready to play. That kind of the things that Renzo we know he's good at. I feel like that is going to be where he makes that impact felt more, and that's going to mean more to his team in particular than any kind of points Bernard James can put up.
Yeah,
That's
I, I,
no that's no knock on Bernard, to be fair. That's just how I'm looking at it from a different angle. To be fair, go ahead.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you. Wholeheartedly. I
That's fine.
love I love
That's
what
fine.
Renzo brings. I love everything that you said. And in a normal instance and in a normal scenario, I absolutely would agree with you because I think he is a leader in all aspects of the world. Can't wait for the day where he decides he wants to be a coach. And I'm talking to you, Renzo. I'm talking to you. But they got Carter Fields. They got Sky Durant, highly inefficient last season, but he can get whatever kind of shot he wants. He, as of right now, he's like a low budget D'Angelo Jordan. Nick Hugo is an absolute machine. Marco Jacobs, I think all of the nation and the world's going to learn about how he can go get buckets whenever he wants to. And Cairo Windsor, E Lava has raved about him repeatedly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and he is the guy in North Carolina. So Renzo has lots of help. Renzo has lots of help.
Well,
So, it
of course
locker
he
room
does.
leader or not, the buckets are going to go up. The defense is going to be played. The motor is going to be ran by Nick Hugo, and they're going to pick up some wins one way or another. On the other end of that, I go look at the Heartland Zombie Stars. They got the Hilario brothers. Cool. One of them I really like. I got Jaquan Johnson, who I wonder at times if he'll make it through the season, just because of things that we've seen him do and say. But I like his game. Outside of that, there's a lot of unproven guys. There's AJ Blaylock, who I'm a big fan of, but we have not seen him in big time action, big
Right,
time minutes. Honcho Hardwick, highly inconsistent last year, lots of talent,
yeah,
but he didn't
right,
put it
true.
together repeatedly. Robert McGee, big time player out of Ohio, but we have not seen him consistently. And Plachi Young was one of the most inconsistent players I've ever seen. You know who was not inconsistent on Heartland Zombie Stars? Benari James. So I think by default, his consistent play, his ability to get buckets, and all of that's going to be the glue for Heartland Zombie Stars, provided there's no
Yeah,
turmoil.
caveat.
Provided there's no turmoil.
There's always a
That's
caveat
such
in
a
it.
big caveat too. I'm sorry.
No, man, I feel like it's something to keep in mind though. We have to think about those things going forward for sure. But look, man, going from one top player conversation to a different angle on things, I guess. Do you have to be talked about all the time to be considered a top player in any league? Not talking about just Simple Prep here, but in any league. But if you want to focus it on Simple Prep, we sure can do that. I'm gonna say no, you don't have to. And I say that because the people who are in the know and are around the game a lot, they know who the top players are, the top 10 players are, you know. So and conversations are what's the word I'm looking for? Cyclical, I guess is the word I can use to describe that. So what I mean by that is, everybody's gonna have their times be talked about and that kind of thing. Just because we don't hear about one person for a month or whatever personally, in my opinion, doesn't mean that all of a sudden they just disappear from the conversation of being a top player. It just so happens that there are other things going on, and right now, you don't have the opportunity to be the focal point of being talked about. That doesn't make you any less important than anyone else that's in that top player conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, in my personal opinion, no, it does not. But in the court of public opinion, in SimWorld Prep, absolutely. Oh, you gotta talk about me. Oh, I gotta be in the public eye all the time. Yes, absolutely. These kids are very image consumed and very much concerned with it. So yes, I think so in SimWorld Prep. Yes, in SWBA in the pros, I think yes, if the media says you're a top guy because that's where the money flows in terms of contracts, right? There are a few teams that look at those gyms. You see your Jalen Bronsons and your Fred Van Vliets of the world who get the checks from the Miamis, the Houstons, the JB Bickerstaffs, and some of those other people who are really looking at that kind of talent. So I think so in the pros. In college, no. College is the essence of pure basketball in the SimWorld U world to me. I think the hype does not have to precede someone, nor does it have to follow them. Good basketball is good basketball because you're playing in a system, and you show if you're able to play in a system, play well with other people, and if you're able to break out and take over when necessary. So, no, it doesn't have to be all the top talk at the collegiate level. So, as much as I hate that this is the case, and that's my answer. I think the top talk does matter because it matters to these kids. It matters to them. So, whatever matters to the kids matters to everyone. And then once you get to the pros, like I said, the media kind of drives the narrative that, Giannis is the MVP multiple years. You've heard me talk about it behind the scenes. How is it that they know who the MVP favorites are and the season is one game in or the season hasn't started? How is that possible? How is it possible? Someone tell me. I'm looking around, be like, hey, anybody have an answer? Like, it makes no sense.
Our producer's like, no, I have no idea.
But because it matters. It matters, and they're painting the narrative, and that's going to line somebody's pocketbooks, and that's who you're supposed to be looking out for. But in the purity of it, no, it does not matter. All that matters is what you do on a court. And I'm a big fan of the things that don't get all the glitz and glamour anyway, which is hard-nosed defense, passing, and smart play. So I contradict myself in everything I just said there.
Well, see, I'm a fan of those things too, so that's why I also feel like, again, you don't have to be talked about all the time in that regard to be considered a top player. You don't have to score 20 points a game. You can get 20 assists per game or whatever, and still you're
Not
a top
anymore.
player, but
That'll never happen again. That used to be a norm, man. Nobody can even get double-digit assists. It's amazing if somebody gets 11. John Stockton averaged, was it him or Mark Jackson? Somebody averaged like 14 assists a game. Come on, man.
yeah. I threw out a number, man. Random number anyway. Hey, look.
Jeez.
So from top coaches talk or top players talk to top coaches talk. Pretty soon here, I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about SimWorld U and coaches being coach wanting to move up, coaches wanting to move down, that kind of thing. Who do you think from the top coaches in SimWorld Prep currently who makes that jump to SimWorld U first?
I think I said it a while back. I said who I think is going to make that jump, and I think it's Coach Pope out there in Bay Area. The way he goes about his recruiting reminds me a lot of what goes on at the collegiate level. He finds a way to get all the top talent to want to play together. That is absolutely a collegiate program, a personality trait that's favorable. So he's number one on the books for me if I'm looking around. I would say Coach Myron Murray, if he comes back to coaching, I can imagine him going to the SimWorld U level. And then another one, an international coach, I can see him making his way to SimWorld U, and that's Coach Kusa. I really like how Coach Kusa goes about it. Yeah, he has great character. And he tries to build his players. He blocks out all the outside noise. He had Tyson Simpson, and there was lots of grumblings, but he pulled that together. And he blocked out the noise, had his team locked in on what the goal was, and that's what it's all about at the collegiate level. Because there's a lot of noise. There's nothing bigger than college football and basketball. Those are huge. So you
Yeah,
got to be able to
right.
block out the outside noise and focus on the task at hand. And I think that he's really big on that. But number one for me, Dre Pope, barrier breakers.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna go maybe in a little bit of a different direction. Maybe I don't know.
I
We'll
know
see.
where
We'll
you're
see. We'll see
going
what you think
to.
about it.
I know where you're going.
Yeah,
I think so.
Asad Drayden, Coach Drayden from the Beast of the East. That's my leading one, and I say that purely because he came in half a season with Beast of the East last season and ended up getting not only getting them into the race to one, but winning the race to one in his first season in half a season there. That's impressive. uh, be it prep ball or wherever. I feel like that is an impressive thing, and that's something that I think that college programs, especially those top schools, are looking to win and win championships. And when you have a coach like Coach Drayden, who, like I said, came in, got halfway through, and got his team to the title game and won it, that says a lot. I think that's something that coaches that they're going to be keying in for. AD is going to be looking for. Also going to go with Brett Lee,
Okay.
the winningest coach in SimWorld Prep right now.
Okay.
If he wants to do that, obviously, that for all these coaches, obviously, if they want to make the jump, these are all just hypotheticals here. But Brett Lee, I feel like could do that. Winningest coach in SimWorld Prep, that's obviously something else, something that coaches want to do at the next level, and schools want to see at the next level is wins too. But
Absolutely.
how can you develop talent, but how can you win games for our program as well? Also important, Brett Lee has proven he can do that here at the prep level. I feel like he would transition well to the college level as well. My final one is going to be Elisa Dodge
I knew it. That's who I thought your
because
number one was.
yeah, she was at first, and then I looked down the list here and saw Coach Drayton, and I was like, there it is, there's number one. Just because the championship thing gives you the advantage, but no, Elisa Dodge, she has proven over her first 2 seasons in Simbo Prep she can develop talent. She's really active and engaged with her kids, and I feel like that again, that's also something one of those things that these schools are looking for as well. How can you come in and not only win games, win championships, but also how can you connect with the kids and get and mold them into players who are going to be ready to play at the next level. And Coach Dodge has proven that over the first 2 seasons in Simbo Prep. Again, we talk about it all the time. Johnny Baldwin and what she did with him this past season with DJ Wagner, and now the season she just took the
Kadarius
flag
Loftus.
last year. Kadarius Loftus. We've seen it. So those are my three, and I feel like that the six that we named, uh, that's gonna be really fun if all of them decide to go at some point in time, which I feel like all of them will. It's just a matter of when.
Shout out Coach Bellardi and Coach Lovelace. Those guys have
Absolutely,
been the
yeah.
real travelers of SimWorld Prep. They've been on more teams than Kim Kardashian has been on. You know what? So I could see them making a jump too, just because they seem to have a lack of patience and willing desire to move forward. So I
I
can
would
see that too.
I would also say that using that to your advantage though, moving around and all that traveling stuff, that could also work to your advantage in terms of recruiting and again being able to be around different cultures, walks of life, that sort of thing at the prep level. Having that experience also can, I feel like, work in your favor. Yeah, I had to turn it into a positive, y'all. You saw what I did there?
I see
Saw what
what
I
you
did?
did. I see what you did. The nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, you know it. You know it, man. We talked about um Coach Kusa a minute ago, but we really don't know a whole lot about Timberland's upcoming season and who's going to be the key player or players for Timberlands. I feel like all these teams, they have guys to watch out for and that sort of thing. Who's it going to be for Timberlands, in your opinion? I feel like for me, the first one that comes to mind is Nathaniel Zilberman, just because he's one of the returning players from last season, familiar with the team, familiar with the area, all that stuff. He can help to get some of those kids adjusted to the Shepherd's Bush area and all that stuff. That's gonna help too. But go ahead, Yels.
Yeah, I think he's the obvious choice because we know his name and Kenneth
Yeah.
Klum as well. They can really shoot that thing. Zilberman's jumper is it's ugly. It's not a pretty sight, but it goes in. If you're knocking it down, you're knocking it down. He can shoot. He can go get his own shot. With He has a sneaky athleticism about him. You don't think that he's moving very quick, and before you know it, he's by you. Zahid Pearson. I think he'll have a larger role this season. He decided to stay there instead of going to SimWorld Latin America. So I think that says something. I think Coach may have
Yep.
told him he'll have a larger role here with them. But they got this kid, Sean O'Reilly, with these big mutton chops. I've seen him play. 15 years old, 6'11", 200 pounds. Good Lord, he needs a meal. Redhead with mutton chops like from back in the days, like the old black guy with the afros and wearing the bell bottoms from like the 70s,
Oh
and he's
man.
got those kind of sideburns. But you know what else he has? He has a lot of height. Pretty raw, but I think that he may be a focus there. But look, we've named a lot of people. The world isn't talking about Yarny Janssen yet. 6'5", 215. He's a bucket getter. We got to see a little bit of him in some scrimmages, some tryouts, and some tape and some footage I saw, and his game is buttery smooth.
He's from ice.
Buttery smooth. You know who his game reminds me of? And here's the thing, man. Whenever you make a player comp, people go crazy. I can see Rick right now is gonna be
I don't
rolling
know,
over in
right?
his grave and going crazy. What I'm saying is that their play style is similar. I'm not saying that he's this player. But when I look at his game and the effortlessness of it, Maestro, Rick, y'all will know these guys. And some of y'all will know the name, but y'all may not have had a chance to see him because his career was cut too soon. His game is exceptionally smooth, like a player by the name of Reggie Lewis. Mid-range game, just kind of he can pull up from anywhere. He's not moving too fast. He's moving at his own pace, but he's really trying to get to particular spots from the mid-range, and it's a smooth, pretty jumper. That's who I think is going to take a primary role with this team. 16 years old. That's who I'm looking for.
All right, I love that. I love that. Well, hopefully they have a couple of those key players because, like I said, I feel like every team has at least at bare minimum one. But the good teams will have more than one. They'll have two, three, four guys maybe. We'll see though. We'll see. But look, it's Friday. You know
Yep.
what that means, right?
Yeah.
It's Fun Thought Friday, man.
Okay.
Not all Fridays, but this one in particular.
All right.
So Halloween is behind us. Thanksgiving is around the corner. So we know that Mariah Carey has thawed out. She's ready to
She's thawed
get
out.
her music ready to go. So Christmas music is already here in some places, but to my knowledge, we have no Thanksgiving songs at all, like none. Besides besides the beans, greens, tomatoes.
That is not a Thanksgiving song.
No,
Cut
no,
it
no, no.
out. Cut
If
it out.
you know what I'm talking about.
Cut
We
it
got
out.
that one. I'm
You
gonna hang
name
on to
it.
that one.
You name it.
You got that dang right. But look, no Thanksgiving songs. Why?
You know why? I'm about to get on my soapbox. Let's see how quick I can get on it and get off of it. Because no one seems to give a damn about what I think is the most important holiday there is. Christmas is turned into what you get and how much stuff you can buy. Christmas starts as soon as Halloween is over. Halloween is all about the things that Halloween. All holidays are about gluttony. Thanksgiving, regardless of how it came about with America and the founding of American Pilgrims, Indians, all that. Right, all that aside, the premise of Thanksgiving is no less, no more than saying thank you and giving thanks. And you know what? No one seems
So
to
easy to
give
write songs
a
about that.
damn about that. This is my favorite holiday. I think it's the most important holiday. I'm sitting there fighting. I'm fighting the missus off every day. She's like, can I put up the Christmas decorations? Hell no. It's not Christmas yet. We're just going to skip over Thanksgiving. It's a fight. It is an absolute fight. There's no songs because Thanksgiving isn't even a holiday to people. It's just a day off.
It's a day off and they eat loads of food.
Yeah, they don't even see the holiday. That's it.
Shame. But
Shame.
like you said though, it's about being thankful for things, and and that right there is such an easy concept in my opinion to write songs about. Now I am no musician, so I when I have the capabilities to do it, I don't think I could do it, but it's right there. I feel like you could do it. It's a matter of who wants to do it. Be the first person to do it. Somebody out there, please give me your Thanksgiving song. We're gonna give y'all a break from us though for the day. Our voices are tired. Been a long week. Time for us to get out of here. We're gonna go refresh ourselves for the next week. Show's over. Thank you for joining us on SimWorld today. We appreciate you. Yells, you do the outro for Friday. I appreciate it.
It's Friday, so you know what that means. That's the reminder. Stop watching the shows and not hitting that little thumbs up button. Stop watching us on YouTube and not hitting that little bell button. Tune in, show your support. We need it. We need to grow this thing. There's lots of people just like you guys that, average Joe looking to live out their sports dreams. And the only way they're going to know is if we blow this thing up. So make sure y'all are hitting that button. Make sure that y'all are, most importantly, along with SimWorld, you get a chance to see the game and be the game. Have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll see you on Monday.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.